Today we're continuing our lesson of artificial selection, and today we're going to talk about the difference between artificial and natural selection, and what biotechnology is, and what genetic engineering is. Basically, the difference between both the main difference is that it's a natural process here, and here it's an artificial one that is um, the artificial selection is controlled by humans. Okay, natural selection is controlled by nature. Humans have no control over natural selection. It's completely controlled by nature. So that's the first difference. Okay, natural selection takes a long time. Artificial selection can be achieved in a short period of time because humans can choose the timing and they can just breed different they can crossbreed different traits together of a certain population. Traits are selected for evolution are beneficial for species. Okay, traits selected for improvement are beneficial to man. Okay, in natural selection, the selection that happens is beneficial to the actual species, but in artificial selection, the benefit is for us, for humans. Okay, so humans benefit here, the species benefit here. Okay, this happens over a long time, short time, controlled by nature, controlled by humans. You can also see another sort of comparison here. So natural selected is dominated by environmental factor, and it's the best traits for the survival of the species. Artificial selection is controlled by humans, and it's people who choose the traits. So it's basically these two comparisons are very similar. They're the same. We also need to compare artificial selection with genetic engineering, because people think that artificial selection, then it must be humans are changing in the genes. They're not. They're just crossbreeding the genes that they want. Okay, in genetic engineering is the process of changing the genes directly. Happens in the lab, changing the genes directly. It introduces new DNA. It inserts new genes. It changes in the genome. Okay, it's done through recombination of plasmids to host organisms. They change in the DNA sequence. They change the genes. They change the combination. Okay, and it's a way of getting the traits that they want. Also done by humans. But this has insertion of new genes. This has no insertion of new genes. Artificial selection, on the other hand, does not change genes. This is very important for you to know. Does not change genes. It just influences how common existing traits are in a population. Okay, how common they are. Okay, like the example we said of the farmer who wants the cow that makes more milk, and he only has one of those or two of those cows, and he wants to make more of them. Then he breeds cows and bulls together in order to get what he wants as a farmer and to have more traits from what the farmer wants. Okay, it does not introduce new DNA. No new DNA. Here, new DNA. Okay, this is done through selection of mating partners artificially. Okay, does not require specific equipment and trained people. Okay, this one will probably require scientists in a lab. Genetic engineering needs scientists in a lab. Artificial selection can be done through farmers and does not require training. Okay, of course you have to know how to do it, but it does not require you to be a scientist or a genetic engineer. So that's the difference between these two that you have to know. Okay. We're just gonna skip this. You can read this example on your own. Biotechnology is the umbrella where all of these, where genetic engineering and artificial selection come. For example, biotechnology is like the big title. Okay, so artificial selection is a type of biotechnology. Okay, just like I can say, for example, introduction to forces and waves are a part of physics. Okay, they are a part of physics. Studying about DNA is a part of biology. Studying about chemicals is a part of chemistry. Same thing here. Studying about artificial selection is a part of biotechnology, or artificial selection is a part of biotechnology. Biotechnology is a biological understanding to solve practical problems. So they use biology to solve problems, to improve the quality of life. Okay, people use creativity to design and implement biological solutions. So artificial selection uses biology to solve practical problems. They use biology to get the traits that they want in a certain species. So that's artificial selection. You have to know that is a type. I'm going to ask you about this. It's a type of biotechnology. Okay? For example, they're giving me an example of biotechnology now. Using yeast to produce yogurt and cheese is a part. It's like they use it. They use biotechnology to produce yogurt and cheese by introducing yeast to it. Using bacteria to make antibiotics. So that's biotechnology. To break down sewage, to clean up oil spills, they use bacteria. So this is a way of using biotechnology, using biology, okay, and technology together to solve problems. So, and this is how it relates to our lesson, because artificial selection is a type of biotechnology. Okay, we have a case study here. In 2005, the Caribbean lost 50% of its coral reefs. Coral reefs are these in the sea where the animals live, and coral reefs are like, it's an organism actually, it's a living thing. Okay, and a lot of fish live in coral reefs, and coral reefs are good for the ocean. And because of pollution, there has been coral reef bleaching, and the Caribbean lost 50%. So they did artificial selection to help coral reefs become more tolerant to warm temperatures. Because of rising of the temperature and global warming, the warming of the water has caused the coral reefs to die out. So artificial selection, okay, helped humans, okay, choose to create or to make the coral reefs, to make more of the coral reefs that are able to tolerate warm temperatures. Breeding coral reefs from Australia with ones found in colder regions to introduce warmth tolerance genes into the coral reefs. So they sort of got coral reefs from another place where coral reefs can handle the heat, and they introduced it into a place where coral reefs cannot handle the heat, and they kind of bred them together to make coral reefs that can handle the heat. Okay, so this is a type of artificial selection. That's a case study, and that's all you have to know. The lesson is very short. Okay, you gotta know what artificial selection is, what genetic engineering is. You have to know the difference between artificial selection and natural selection. You have to know what biotechnology is, and that's it. Okay, I wrote this twice by mistake, sorry.